The State Department's Inspector General is under fire tonight. A congressional committee accuses Howard Krongard of stonewalling investigations into contractor fraud and wasteful spending in Iraq and Afghanistan. There are serious questions about the U.S. rebuilding effort in Afghanistan. Many projects you paid for are in shambles. Lara Logan follows the money.
I would strongly recommend, right, for the next few feet, you breathe through your mouth and not your nose.
Great. American doctor Dave Warner is on a mission in eastern Afghanistan to show people back home how billions of taxpayer dollars sent here are being wasted.
When I was here in December, it was full. Now they've dug another one.
Rotting bio-waste is dumped in the hospital's backyard because, as Warner and the hospital director showed us next,
obviously it's not used very often at all.
The new waste incinerator donated by the U.S. government is completely useless. Even if the hospital had been trained how to run it, they can't afford the fuel.
From the American people.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
Warner is a public health expert from San Diego who's taken it upon himself to do what no one else in Afghanistan seems to be doing, documenting the failures in reconstruction. He says the system can't be fixed unless those responsible first admit that it's broken. But it's a hard sell, as Warner discovered when he tried to report his findings to officials at the Pentagon.
I was brought aside and said, they told me, don't tell that story. I said, why not? And they said, well, this is one of our success stories.
A success story that quickly turned to disappointment for the hospital.
We thought that this is a new.
When they discovered that this septic truck, donated by the U.S. with new tires and a shiny coat of paint, wasn't new at all. In fact, it's at least 60 years old.
It starts from there, like
with a crank.
With the crank.
This is where the children come and others to go get water.
The hospital's plumbing system is new and certified as complete by the U.S. agency which funded it, but it's a disaster.
There's blood pouring out of here right now.
Yes.
These open drains should have been covered, a fact Warner pointed out more than a year ago to those in charge of the project. But no one would take responsibility and finish the job.
This was stunning.
Warner says leaving it to the Afghans is unrealistic.
They have no resources, and so every time we leave something 80% of the way, that's more than overwhelms their capacity.
Normally you would have 2, 3, 4 patients in one bed.
In one bed, yes.
It's inside the hospital that you rarely understand how strained that capacity is. Surgical instruments are sterilized in a pressure cooker. In the newborn intensive care unit, critically ill babies have to share oxygen. There's barely enough power to run these two machines, the only machines they have.
They have to take turns with the oxygen?
Yes, yes.
Newborns with jaundice also have to share fluorescent lights because of the limited power.
This is what the people have.
The average person.
Yes, and if you talk about hearts and minds, these are the hearts.
Hearts that the U.S. is failing to win, Warner says, because the system is failing them. Lara Logan, CBS News, Jalalabad, Afghanistan.